How are you? So, I'm Anna Walker. You are in Step Things into Existence's studio here in the basement of my mother's farmhouse in central Iowa, and welcome to the studio tonight. I'm still here on Facebook because I haven't quite gotten the YouTube thing comfortably figured out, but hopefully that will happen next week, maybe October, but we'll find out here pretty soon. So what do you do when you find 10 jacquard napkins in the 3 box at a garage sale? Well, of course you grab them. I mean, that was the same garage sale several weeks ago where I got a quilt and a bedspread for $5. Not each, both of them, $5. So I have a full-size quilt, $2.50, and I have a bedspread that I turned into a dog bed for my Shotzi for $2.50. And I got some other things, but I also got 10 of these very cool napkins that coincidentally many years ago I likely owned, because these are Pampered Chef napkins, and I used to sell Pampered Chef back in the day. But they were perfect. I mean, fall is here. Thank you, Jesus, fall is here. And so I thought, I know what I'm going to do with these. Can you guess what I did with these? Well, let me turn the camera down and I'll show you. And we'll talk about a different kind of stabbing and my usual kind of stabbing. And I'll show you how I put this together. All right, let's see if I can get this. Oh, that looks pretty good there. Oh, even better. Okay, so here's the napkin that I was playing with, and it seemed appropriate to do a 1, 2, abracadabra. Yes, we have a pumpkin made out of one of these napkins. And it was really, really easy. Now, the thing that I love most about this is that everything except for the tiny bit of wool locks that I'm going to use was either free or next to nothing. So this is, I mean, you can see how big this is. This is a good size pumpkin. And I got the pumpkin as well as taking 2 corners to make a couple of little leaves, and I'm going to show you how to use little bits of locks to add little tendrils to go around to look sort of like the vines that you would see on a pumpkin that you purchase. But basically this is put together with 1 napkin, and you can see I have a whole array of them here. Let me spread this one down. Oh, I'm losing locks. It's better than losing other things. So there will be several pumpkins that will be made over the course of the next week or so. And they may find their way onto the website. They may be used for a giveaway. We'll talk about that here in a moment. But this is 1 napkin. You can see I just cut a big circle out of 1 napkin. And then 2 of the corners turned into the leaves here. And I just took the corners and I stitched them up the middle to gather them a little bit and to make them a leaf shape. And then I stitched them into my pumpkin. But you know what this pumpkin is filled with? It's filled with leftover wool fabric scraps. So I didn't pay even a few cents for polyester fiber fill or anything else to stuff this. And this is nicely stuffed. And then a wine cork. I've got probably hundreds of them at this point. And a little bit of hot glue to get the wine cork to sit in there. And voila, we have a pumpkin. I just cut the circle out. I was not exact about it at all. And then I just did a little gathering stitch all the way around, gathered it up, and then I just filled it with scraps that I cut into smaller pieces, and I just shoved and shoved and shoved until I got the shape that I liked. and then I just stitched it up, added my 2 leaves, stitched them to the pumpkin itself, and now we're going to add a little bit of needle felted wool to add our beautiful little tendrils here, and we're going to play just as much or as little as we want to. I want to find a good needle. Let's see, will that one work? That one should work. So I'm using one of my green tipped needles. This is a size 38 needle. And I've tacked down the locks here in a couple of places, and it's just a matter, you can needle felt into fabric. And because this is made from a fabric napkin, we can just take and tack down our locks wherever we want them to be. And we can let them sort of have a little attitude, bring in a little bit of motion and movement. Let's see if I can pull this down just a little bit more. There we go. It's a little closer. And then just go in and add those locks wherever you want them to be. Now I have the green locks, but I also have, and these are from one type of sheep. Don't ask me which one, couldn't tell you. These are from another kind of sheep, and you can tell the locks look different. And these are just scraps of locks that I had in my stash. And you can see these, you can see the curl a little bit more. The crimp on this wool is really, really fine. But I want to show you with these scraps how easy it is to take, and if you want to use it as is without doing any splitting, just anchor it down at the cut end wherever you want it to be, and then you've got your cool little tendril coming out. But I want to show you too, if you've got a fat lock like this one, if you take it from the end that was cut and you carefully pull along the length, you can get more than one lock out of this. And the nice thing about this is that if I take, and I just give it a little bit of a rough roll in my hands, that gives just the tiniest bit of agitation to let it sort of felt in. I'm going to add some of this second color right here next to this green that I've already added. Now if you use hot glue like I did to secure your wine cork for the stem, you want to make sure that you're not aiming where the glue was. Otherwise you might bend or break off the tip of your needle. But you can see just how easy it is to add those locks. I've got another one here that I want to add on this side, and I'm just stabbing in the very center of the lock so that I can anchor it in place, and I can leave the ends of the lock nice and loose so that they can come out and just have some attitude here. And you see, it's just that easy. Now I want to add just a tiny bit more green, and I think I want to add it right here in this spot. And this is a weird one, so I'm just twisting it here in the center. And then right there in the center is where I'm going to stab straight down into my fabric to lock that lock into place. And again, you can stab as much or as little as you want. If I wanted this part of the lock to sort of have a little bit of a ruched effect, I could twist it up and then stab it down at one end, and we get just a little bit of a curly, puffy bit of locks. But that is just how easy it is to take a needle with a little bit of wool locks and another needle with a little bit of thread and one napkin and scraps of fabric that you have on hand. I really try not to throw anything away. I try and find a way to use up every little bit, and this is one of those projects that is very, very easy to use up little bits and stuff. So yeah, we have a wonderful little seasonal pumpkin, and I have just thought how I want to do this. So here's the thing. I'm going to flip the camera back up again. I want to talk to you. So I told you guys that I was getting close to 1,000 followers on both Facebook and Instagram. That's getting closer and closer every day. So I'm going to have a giveaway. And not only do I have a book that I'm going to give away, but I have just decided here and now, while we've been talking, and while I've been talking about the pumpkins, I have just decided that I am going to give away, how many? How many? I am going to give away 5 of these napkins with a couple little bits of locks thrown in, and let you have some fun making your own pumpkin out of one of these napkins. So 5 people are going to get the supply. I'll even throw in a wine cart. All you have to do is have a pair of scissors, needle and thread, and a felting needle, and you can get this put together. So I am going to give away 5 little kits. It's got everything except the stuffing on the inside, and I encourage you to find, maybe an old ratty shirt or some rags, or if you've got fabric scraps that are too small to do anything with, grab scraps. This is a scrap buster, very definitely. And I am going to give away the book to the grand prize person, and 5 of the napkin kits to make your own pumpkin. And I would like to encourage all of you to please share this video, tag your friends in this video. If you're on Instagram, because this will be on Instagram as well. If you're on Instagram, like and share with your friends on Instagram. Let's get my followers over 1,000 in both places. And once we hit 1,000 on one of the 2 or both of them, if it only happens with one at first, that'll be the giveaway time. If they both happen at the same time, that'll be the giveaway time. But I'm hoping that before the end of the month, we can have my followers up to over 1,000 in both Facebook and Instagram, and I will draw 6 random people, 6 random folks. I've got a nice little random generator. I'll grab 6 folks, and 5 of them will get the kits to make their own pumpkin, and 1 person will get that felting book. That is a wonderful little book, and I'll show you that book next week. But you're on. Now you have work to do. You need to share the video, you need to share my page, you need to invite friends to like my page and to like my posts over on Instagram. Let's give away some pumpkin kit starters. I want you to have fun making one of these yourself. They're so easy. I put it together in like less than an hour today, and it was just, I needed a break from putting things away in the studio. I'm down to the last several boxes in the garage. They're trying to get worked here into the studio. I cleared out the cupboards that are down here for me to use, and I just needed to play for a little while, and so I made this pumpkin. And I want you to have the chance to play as well. So you have your work cut out for you. Like and share on Facebook and on Instagram, and pretty soon I'll be drawing some winners, and I hope it's you. I really do. In the meantime, head over to the website. Make sure you sign up for email alerts. Things are still in the revision process, but they are looking good, and I'm excited to bring some new energy and new life to the website and to my interactions with all of you. And I thank you as always for being here with me. I am glad that you joined me here, and I'm looking forward to seeing who gets to make pumpkins. So I will talk to you all later. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you next week on What's Felt Wednesday. So start sharing. Talk soon. Bye.